to my channel. I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Monday! Today's video is going to be a recent reads video. Renaissance Surge by Nalini Singh. It is book 7 in the Psy Changeling Trinity spin-off continuation series. In this pairing we have Yakov and Theodora. She goes by Theo. And Yakov's twin brother Petrov and his mate Arwen. We get their story as a side story. And Theodora is part of the Marshall group family, Psy family, and her grandfather was a counselor, and her grandfather was not a good person. Her and Pax are the only good guy in the family, and they find out that their grandfather was funding centers to get rid of low gradient psi. So Theodora and Marsh and her brother Pax are trying to figure out where those centers are and what happened to those low gradient psi and where's this money coming from. Pax sends Theodora to Russia while Yakov is having dreams about his fated mate dying right in front of him, but he doesn't know who his fated mate is. The mate to the pack, Alpha, tells him to guard Theodora. He sees a picture of Theodora and realizes Theodora is his fated mate. He doesn't trust Theo because she is from the Marshall group, and the only side he trusts are the one from the merchant family and the other pack. So he's at war with his animal because his bear knows that Theo is his fated mate, but he tries to resist. But while Yakov and Theodora search for the truth about what happened to these people in these centers, they get to know each other, and Yakov realizes that there is more to Theodora than meets the eye, and then he vows to protect her because she is a nice person under that tough exterior. He realizes he can't judge Theodora's actions just because of the family that she is from. It's their romance, and I liked it. It was very sweet. I also loved Arwen and Yakov's twin brother. They finally committed to being fated mates in this book, because if you have read the series, you would know that Arwen has been putting off meeting with Petrov because he wanted to find himself. So I'm so happy that they are mated now. Fucking wild. by Emily Raff. It's a hockey romance, reverse age gap, where the woman is older, and it's about Teresa and Ryan. Teresa just wants to get a divorce from her husband because he cheated on her and he did not treat her well. So she just wants to get away from her husband. And she goes to her best friend's wedding. And she dances with Ryan, one of the hockey players in the hockey team. But before that, they meet at her best friend's beach house. He accidentally sees her naked. And when she goes back to her lawyer job, she finds out that her husband and the people at the law firm are forcing her to take a sabbatical, so she has no job. But her best friends, one of her husbands, made an investment in a company to save the seals, and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's never bought a company like this before, so he hires Teresa to be like the manager of the company and figure out how to get this non-profit going. He gives her the key to his old house. And meanwhile, Ryan has a knee injury to his leg. So one of the other hockey players gives a key to. So Tessa and Ryan end up living together. And Teresa tries to deny her feelings for Ryan, or tries to stay away from Ryan because of the whole mess with her ex-husband. Well, she's trying to make him her ex-husband. And Ryan just wants to respect Teresa's wishes, even though he knows he has feelings for her. But they can't deny their attraction, and eventually they develop feelings for each other. But Teresa asks Ryan to keep it a secret, and eventually their friends find out. But the only problem is Teresa's still married, and that's their romance. It was very long for a hockey romance. It was 600 pages. Pack Darling. I read this book because of Lacey from Lacey's Book Lovers and Victoria from Victoria Romance Reads. We follow Lila, and she is in a mega center, but people don't treat her nicely. And the Wyvern Pack. And one day, this man makes Lila an offer to infiltrate the Wyvern Pack just to stay with them, because their Omega is out of sorts. So, and she agrees because they are threatening her. So, and she said if they do this, she'll get her freedom. They said if she does this, she will get her freedom. Atlas, Hunter, Finn, and Jen, and Orion who is their Omega, don't like her because they think she is just there to replace Orion. So they're very mean to her. But Orion and Lila, because they're Omegas, they get along, and she saves Orion from getting hurt, but the pack thought that she hurt Orion, so they told her to get out. And that's the story there. And then I read book 2. Book 2 is the second part in Pack Darling. It's called Pack Darling Part 2. And it's all about them groveling to get Lila back because Orion told them if it wasn't for Lila, that he wouldn't be here right now. Lila saved him, so the pack is groveling, trying to get her back. Breathe for me. It's a dark cowboy romance. Check your trigger warnings. And here we have Denver and Valerie. Valerie is trying to get Denver's farmland, and Denver is not selling his farmland. So they get off in the wrong foot. Denver is a single dad. He had a one-night stand with a woman, and then that woman turned out to be his brother's fiance, but he didn't know. His brother leaves and never comes back. And because in the present day, Valerie is trying to get him to sell because she needs the money for commission because her mom has cancer, but Denver refuses to sell. Through forced proximity and convincing from her mom, she just you don't have to get his farm. And then Valerie tells Denver about her mom, and he says, why don't you work for me? You don't have to work for that. You don't have to work for that person if you don't want to. So Valerie goes to work for Denver, and it's their romance. It was spicy. Sing for me. It's about Denver's brother Mason and Harmony. Harmony went to a rodeo show with her best friend, and she gets into trouble with one of the people at the radio show. Mason saves her, and after that encounter, Mason becomes obsessed with her, watches her every move basically, and Mason learns that and about her, that she's a singer and that she had the troubles past, and that she learns about Mason too, Harmony learns about Mason too, about what happened to his past, what happened with his brother, and they eventually form a romantic relationship. And Mason learns who her father is, and he is the guy who's making trouble at the farm. So Mason has to go back to the farm, give Harmony closure. Everybody thinks that Mason left because his brother slept with his fiance, but the truth was he left because he couldn't put up with his father anymore. His father was physically abusive to Mason, and nobody knows about it. Check your trigger warnings before you read this book. It's Harmony and Mason's romance, and also it's Mason's journey to kind of repair things with his brother Denver. Those are all the books that I read. Please let me know if you have read any of these books. I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see ya Wednesday. Bye.